recorded. Irma, a Category 5 storm with sustained winds of an eye-popping 185 miles per hour. Tonight, virtually every computer model has Irma making landfall in the United States as soon as overnight Saturday. Florida is already under a state of emergency as residents make a run on gas stations and grocery stores ahead of a mandatory evacuation order. Tonight, we take a view from space, forecasters saying, in fact, everyone from coastal Texas to Virginia should be on alert right now as experts work to refine the storm's precise track. We have the hurricane covered, beginning with Gabe Gutierrez with storm preparations in Florida. Gabe, good evening.
Lester, good evening. Officials here in Miami-Dade County say they expect to start some evacuations as early as tomorrow. And down in the Florida Keys, they are calling this a worst-case scenario. Millions along the East Coast are now closely watching one of the strongest Atlantic storms on record. Tonight, across Florida, the rush is on.
It's packed everywhere.
Gas, supplies, patience going quickly as a monster hurricane churns in the Atlantic.
We can't take no chances. We gotta just, get prepared.
The Keys closing schools and preparing to start evacuating tourists tomorrow. All of Florida now under a state of emergency as Irma's path is uncertain.
We have no idea what's in store. I'll have to pray for the best.
This morning, as hurricane hunters flew into the storm, it rapidly strengthened into a dangerous Category 5 behemoth, with winds now reaching a staggering 185 miles an hour. These incredible NASA images show the ominous eye of the storm as it barrels towards the Caribbean. The National Hurricane Center calling Irma potentially catastrophic, not just Florida in its path, but possibly millions along the East Coast.
This is a very, very powerful and intense storm. This storm doesn't appear to be weakening in any way, shape, or form.
In the Sunshine State, bottled water has been flying off shelves as 7,000 members of the National Guard are on alert.
We are getting our house ready and debating whether we should stay or whether we should go.
Tomas Rivera rode out the area's last Cat 5 hurricane, Andrew, 25 years ago. How worried are you about this storm?
Extremely worried. On a scale of 1 to 10, probably 13.
Airline change fees and highway tolls now waived as residents rush to get out. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Miami.
This is Morgan Radford. Tonight, Puerto Rico in the bullseye, preparing for what could be one of the biggest hurricanes. The magnitude of this event is beyond the capabilities of his government. This, as FEMA says, they have 300,000 meals and 500,000 liters of water ready to go.
We have a Category 5 approaching our area, so the message is for the people to get ready.
500 buildings across the island are being turned into emergency response centers like this one.
You can see people behind me here. They're loading generators on truck. They have boats here at the ready to help those more than 62,000 people who might be displaced.
The mayor of San Juan here in the shelter preparing meals, ready to spend the night.
Mayors are no better